Hello, hi, my name is Simone Vincenzi from GTeX, and this is a video for the team TransParent from the NCS, National Citizen Service. They are doing an amazing campaign about raising awareness of body image, and I decided to record this video because this is a topic that interested me personally. I embarked on a journey to really appreciate my body and who I am. And when they decided to create the social action project, and when they decided to support those people that at the moment are struggling really with their body image, I decided to take this opportunity and record this quick video to support their campaign. Well, about self-body image, the question that you might ask yourself is why is so hard to like ourselves as we are? Why is that so hard? Why can we always find something that we don't like or we don't appreciate about our body or our emotional being as we are? And I've been asking myself this question for a long time. My journey started when I was a teenager, and I was really fat when I was a teenager. And I was also quite smart as well. So, a teenager fat and smart uh, is struggle generally is quite difficult for a teenager fat and smart to be accepted, in particular from other people, from other peers. And I got really bullied when I was a teenager for that reason. It might be just a verbal bullying or sometimes physical bullying, fortunately quite limited, but I was suffering inside since that age, and people was joking me and they were calling me blue pig, right? At the moment, inside I was dying because I wanted to be accepted. I wanted to be one of the cool guys that could have a lot of friends, and instead of that, because I was fat than others, I was constantly joked for that reason. So I started really hating my body. I started hating my body for who it was, and it was up until I was 17, 18 when my body started changing, and then my metabolism started increasing, and then I lost weight. Then I started liking my body a bit more. But I still had these things inside me that no matter what I was doing, no matter how much weight I was losing, that wasn't enough. Yeah, it was never enough. And there was always something that I didn't like. For example, I didn't like my belly. I said, why do you have such a belly? Or I didn't like my cheeks. I didn't like my bum because I think it was too fat. And a lot of people think that just girls or women have these problems, but actually men have these problems as well. So what happened is that as soon as I turned 22, I decided, okay, I'm going to hit the gym. I'm going to hit the gym and I'm going to have this sculpted body where... And the idea in my mind was so everyone will can like my body. It wasn't more for me, but it was more for seeking for acceptance from other people. Um, kind of like saying, you know what, Simone, you are really beautiful. But it wasn't coming from me. Obviously, it was coming from other people. So I started working out more than 2 hours a day. I remember that period, and I was eating probably a bowl of cereal with milk per day. And I, at the beginning, like I lost a lot of weight, and my body started getting really sculpted because I was working out a lot. I was not eating that much, and in my mind, I was losing so much weight. I was like, okay, well, that's great. And I didn't realize that I was losing a bit too much weight. I didn't realize that actually I was starving myself. I didn't realize that my skin became really pale. I didn't realize that my bags under my eyes were actually that deep. I didn't realize that people could start seeing my ribs. In my mind's eyes, that was the best body I've ever had. So that was the beginning of my period of anorexia. And in my eyes were fine. I had this body that was accepted by the media. I had this body that could be accepted by other peers. And soon after, a lot of people start telling me, Simone, there's something wrong. You are too thin. You're losing too much weight. And first of all, I said, no, 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 no. But then I started taking on board this feedback. I was like, yeah, maybe I started losing too much weight. So I decided, okay, let me eat again. Obviously, I because my relationship with food at the moment was so bad, I didn't have a balance anymore. I started from eating loads to starving myself completely. So when I started eating again, I started eating on all that was unhealthy. Fast food. I started eating on cakes and biscuit and chocolate. But at the same time, I was feeling so bad about myself because in my mind I was like, well, if I eat those things, I'm going to become fat again. And I didn't want to. I didn't want. That could be probably the most horrible thought in my life. And so that was the starting of the bulimic period of my life. And I didn't want to like myself where I was. So what I was doing, I was eating a lot, in particular binging overnight, and then throwing up. Like 2 fingers in the throat and then throwing up. And that has been another big period of my life. And then slowly bulimia started turning in overeating. I realized that my I didn't want to throw up anymore. That was too sick for me. I didn't feel good at all. So instead of that, I just started binging night after night after night after night, which I arrived to the point where I gained so much weight that I almost couldn't recognize myself anymore. My body started changing, my skin started stretching, and more I was looking at myself in the mirror, more I was saying the most horrible things to myself, like, look at you, fat bastard, fat pig, and no one is going to stay with you anymore. You are too fat, you cannot control your life, you keep eating. That's all these kind of things I was constantly saying to myself. And probably spent 1 year not looking at myself in the mirror because I was too scared of the image I could see there. I was scared of myself, I was scared of my body image. So I spent the last 2 years really finding out what was going on. What's really going on? What's the real cause? What's the root of my lack of self-love? And more I embarked in this journey of understanding myself, understanding my emotions and my feeling, more I realized what was really missing in my life. And in that moment in my life, what was really missing was self-love. What was really missing was a healthy relationship with myself. What was really missing was not giving to myself the thing that makes me happy. And the way I decided to make myself happy, it was through food. The way I decided to cope with stress was through food. And the way I decided to deal more with the frustration that was coming from not liking and not accepting myself, more I turned into food. So I did that. I'm going to post at the end of the video also some pictures. Never done this before. They are pictures I took probably 2 or 3 years ago after a binge. And you will see at the end of the video some of them to reaching the point where I was literally, I changed my body. But then, so I started to decide, okay, I want to change this. I don't like it. I love exercising, I love working out. I love being happy. I love being happy. I wanted to get my life back. So I decided to take control of my life. I decided to take control of my emotions. And in particular, I decided to love myself. In particular, I decided to accept myself as I am. And immediately, obviously, the overeating pattern was so strong that it took more than 1 year from that conscious decision to change. I took more than 1 year from that moment when I took the decision to say, okay, now it's sorted. And in that year, what I realized is that I had first to accept myself as I was. To accept my belly, to accept my fat butt, to accept my my face, to accept my body, and to accept the fact that I had an emotional eating disorder. As soon as I accepted that, more and more I was not getting angry at myself for what I was doing overnight and for what I was doing at my body, more the overeating patterns start coming down and coming down and coming down. Up until it arrived to a point where it almost faded away. It wasn't overnight. It's been a very long journey, and it's been a journey into accepting myself and accepting my body and accepting that even if I was overeating, that was alright. Accepting that even if I had this eating disorder, that was alright. And after a while, I started doing a set of exercises that I came across in my journey, and they really helped me to really appreciate my body. And one of the exercises that I really recommend to everyone that is going through this personal journey of self-love and self-acceptance is to have a really deep conversation with yourself, looking at yourself in the mirror and looking at yourself straight into your eyes. Like this. And really talk to yourself. Talk as you were talking as the person that you will love the most in your life. Talking in a caring and loving way. Really understanding myself, understanding my inner child. And it might sound a bit silly, but for me probably is what worked the best. Because in that moment I was really able to take the time to acknowledge myself into my life, to acknowledge that I'm not just a body, that I'm a human being, and giving the same care I was used to give to other people to myself. And it all started with talking to myself and listening to myself. For me, it had a massive massive impact over 1 year and over a year and a half. Actually, almost the overeating pattern is almost gone. So now the real message here is if you're going through this journey of not loving yourself and looking at the images that the media gives and the magazine gives and or your friends gives, just screw that. Really screw that. Pardon the language, but really chuck it away and start looking at yourself and loving yourself because of who you are. Because you know what? You are perfect as you are. Yes, you are perfect as you are. There is nothing to change in you. That was the biggest lesson I've learned, and I will always carry within my heart. And now, after that time, my eating is over control. I love myself, I love my body. This is why I wanted to support TransParent. So they have an amazing campaign. Check out their Facebook page, which is probably going to be linked below this video. Subscribe to their Facebook page, donate to their project, and if you want to support or raise awareness, they have an amazing campaign on Twitter, and you can hashtag #myhealthyselfie. Hashtag #myhealthyselfie. Get a picture of yourself as you are. This is why I decided actually to do this video in this way, because I've just finished the workout, so it's midnight now. I love a night workout. It's midnight now, I'm sweaty, I smell, but this is myself. And so you're okay as you are, be yourself. Keep supporting TransParent. Ben and all the team, guys, you're doing an amazing job. Keep changing lives. That's all for me tonight. Here is Simone Vincenzi from GTeX. I'm looking forward hearing more from your social action project. Guys, you are awesome. Ciao!